you down with me. Don't try and take me down. I'll take you down with me. Don't try and take me down. I'll take you down with me. Don't try and take me down. I'll take you down with me. Don't try and take me down. I'll take you down with me. Don't try and take me down.
Hey everyone, this is Stephanie with What in Tarnation, a Southern Cure for Quandary. As you may know, we have been working behind the scenes to put together our new genre, which is Southern True Crime, and two, all about what's going on in South Carolina, in the Low Country with Alex Murdaugh and that whole saga, which is huge. But obviously the bigger issue here is that the good old boy system, which is really what we're going to highlight on. And our second episode will be about Velma Barfield and how clearly what she, did was heinous, but not nearly as I want to say just in depth as what Alex did and how differently they were treated. I do want to give some updates if you've not been able to kind of catch what's been going on in the last 24 hours. So we got word last night about 7 o'clock that Alex Murdaugh had been found guilty on all 4 counts. 2 were for the homicides, his wife Maggie Murdaugh and his son Paul Murdaugh. Then he was charged with 2 weapons charges as well. So 4 charges in total. And I have been following the trial every single day. I listen to South Carolina Unsolved and the Murdaugh Murders. Lots of great podcasts. I also listened every single day on YouTube. Sometimes it was a little too boring to kind of listen through everything, but I would always watch recaps of what the trial or who was on the witness stand, and I was a little nervous, to be honest with you, that a mistrial would be had, a hung jury, and I was very surprised that they came back after 3 hours and made the and found him guilty. So I believe that there's a news circuit around somewhere, I'm not sure if it was ABC, had one of the jurors come on and talk about it took them about 45 minutes to an hour to actually deliberate. So clearly the state was trying not to be too hopeful, but it was a good sign that the jury was headed in the right direction. According to the juror, there were 2 who were on the not guilty, and then there was 1 who was undecided. When you're doing a jury trial, just, from what I'm not in law, I'm not in law enforcement, I don't work for the court system, but, I've watched a lot of cases, a lot of true crime, and you never know. And certainly, this was a circumstantial case, but I really love Creighton Waters. He said basically, like, you don't have to go outside to know it's raining. It's raining when you're, the ground is wet and you can hear it. You may not have to see the rain, but it rained. And certainly with all of the evidence and the fact that Alex admitted that he lied about his time frame. And he was a habitual liar. I mean, he admitted that he stole from his clients. He admitted that he stole from his law firm. He admitted that he stole from his family. And I really think that the state did a really great case of presenting how much pressure Alex was under and how these financial crimes were placing more stress on Alex. And I my personal opinion, I don't buy into conspiracy theories, but I have to say that typically, when you have a victim in a murder who was so violently ended in the way that Paul was, that there's usually some anger. And the fact that he was, at close range, and the way, to me, it kind of makes you wonder, did Alec have this, increasing anger for Paul? Because really, what happened with Paul with the boat crash was kind of like the Jenga block that made the whole thing fall. And I wonder if, there are a lot of things that I've wondered, maybe, to really make it look like somebody from, online community, or, someone who really hated Paul did this, because it was so heinous that, it would be clear to see that he was the target. There's a lot of things, that you think about in the circumstances. But what I found very interesting watching, after Alex Murdaugh was convicted of the double homicide and the guns charges, is that the gentleman who was standing behind him with the handcuffs, he was ready to go. And you could tell that guy was serious. I mean, boom, immediately, cuffs were on. And if you have been watching it, so he just came in for sentencing today. He was not in a button-up shirt or suit. He was in a CCJ jumpsuit, like a khaki colored jumpsuit with like socks and orange slides. So every bit of dignity that he had, it's gone. I guess when you're, still, you've not been formally convicted yet, they allow you to wear clothing that, is court apparel, but they stripped him of that immediately. He is now a convict. He will soon be an inmate in prison. So I was very moved by the judge, very moved by his words, and I understand now that he knew Alex's father and his grandfather's portrait. He was talking about having to have it removed, so that it would ensure that he had a fair trial, and that he remembered his family. They were always kind, and this is just such a far departure from that. And what a legacy! What a way to end a legacy. I mean, how you could tell he was very saddened, the way that this went down. But I thought that he presented himself, very honest, but very professional. And one of the things that he said, you're saying you're innocent, but maybe it was someone else. And I'm going, huh? And then he goes, maybe it was the monster that came out when you were doing all those 15, 20, 100 pills at a time. Maybe it was not, it was this monster that came out, but you're standing before me today. You're still accountable for your actions. And I was like, wow. So, we do have a podcast coming out. I had someone that was coming on, but they unfortunately were not able to make it. So I think I'm just going to go this one alone. If you're lost in the sauce, trust me, it took me a while to even fully understand all of the layers of this trial. And it's not over yet, folks. We have 99 crimes that have yet to be, he's yet to be put on trial for. 99 crimes. And they're all in different parts of South Carolina. Some are in Beaufort, some are back in his home county of Hampton, some are, where he was at, Waltersboro or something like that. I probably said that wrong. I'm sorry. Same judge though. So, we'll see how that unfolds. I wonder if he'll, at this point, just let him plead guilty and certainly if you have any experience, working in law enforcement, maybe you're from South Carolina, maybe that's your neck of the woods, or maybe you've just kind of, had your fill of this good old boy system. If you have something to contribute and you would like to be featured along with me on the podcast, shoot me a message. Just go on our website, urbanfringenc.com, and hit contact and just put Murdaugh episode. Let me know, even if you're just a true crime fan, and you're just wanting to talk about, the layers of this and how shocked you were. I'd love to hear it. If there's multiple of you, I can do up to 4 people at a time. So, I will keep watching to find out what's going on. And I just want to let you know, I just read it about an hour ago. He was sentenced consecutive, basically life in prison. So he's never going to come out of prison. And then I'm not sure if the gun charges, I think they were 5 years after the life conviction. So, I mean, it's just icing on the top at this point. But still, he's not been convicted of those 99 crimes. And I wonder, you kind of wonder, like, why the state, are they going to try all this? Because that's tax dollars, But I think with the murders, I think it was clear they wanted the world to see who Alex Murdaugh was. They wanted to ensure that this man was never going to get out of prison again. And I think that they were like, this is not just a petty theft or a white-collar criminal. He's a murderer. So all of that we'll discuss on the podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions, shoot them below. And y'all take care of yourselves and each other. Have a good one.